How many of these banks do you think are New Zealand owned? If you answered these five, then you're correct. Now, you may be thinking, who cares where the banks are owned? I just want the best deal for my money. However, last year, Australian banks reported a combined profit of over $6.5 billion. That's over 2% of our GDP during a cost of living crisis. According to Reserve Bank data, the Big Four hold about 84% of mortgages and lending in New Zealand and hold the majority of customer deposits. Kiwi-owned banks also make up about 10% of lending here. Lending isn't the issue here though, it's the profits. New Zealand-owned banks mean that the profits, to some extent, flow back into our economy, more so at least than Australian ones. If that 6.5 billion, or even a portion of it, was in some way reinvested back here, that would have huge benefits for our economy, especially in terms of creating jobs. However, less big banks could mean less competition and more unfair rates. And especially if you have a mortgage, that could lead to higher repayments. But what do you think? Do these Australian banks need our money? For the small inconvenience to yourself, is it worth switching? Or is this just capitalism working as intended? Please do your best to support local in all other areas of your spending. And remember, keep cash alive. I filmed that video a while back, but decided against posting it. However, after New Zealand First's announcement that they will be campaigning to buy back BNZ, it only seems fitting now. BNZ was sold to the National Australian Bank in 1992 at a valuation of around 1.5 billion New Zealand dollars. Winston Peters estimates it could cost upwards of 7.5 billion, but other economists have argued it could be upwards of 13 billion to buy back today. Peters has stated they would merge it with Kiwibank to make the National Bank of New Zealand, stating it would exist to keep the major Australian banks honest and to keep New Zealand banking profits in New Zealand. I think that the more Crown-owned assets the better, but what do you think? Is this even feasible, or is this just headline grabbing? Let me know below.